Hi again, everyone. It's Jim from Radio Wasteland Records in Midland, Michigan, with a quick addendum to our new and upcoming release video for this week. We had to break out a separate video because this one's kind of a big one. Speaking, of course, of the recently announced 50th anniversary reissue of Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon. And this is getting a huge box set treatment. Now, there are plenty of YouTube videos out there that talk about the history of this album. So let's just dive right into this box set and see what's in store for its release on Friday, March 24th of 2023. Now, when we say this box set is huge, we do mean it is huge, but it contains multiple versions of the album Dark Side of the Moon, both the original mix and remastered mix, as well as digital audio files of the same. Right out of the gate, though, let's talk about the vinyl inside of this. The first LP is the remastered original studio album of Dark Side of the Moon, in a gatefold sleeve with the original posters and stickers. Now, for those that may not be familiar with this, the original version, and yes, this is an original version of Dark Side of the Moon from 1973, did come with a couple of very cool Pink Floyd stickers, as well as a couple of posters. Now, I'm not going to open these posters up because they're kind of large. We don't want to get too far into them, but suffice to say that there are some very cool designs, one with the band, and one is the pyramid. If you can find the OGs with these still intact in there, then good, fine, because that is a cool one to get. Most times, though, the posters have been used and abused over the past, well, now 50 years. But it's good to see that they're including recreations of both the posters and stickers found in the original album. Now, there's a second LP included in on this big box set, and this is The Dark Side of the Moon, recorded live at Wembley Empire Pool in London from 1974. This one is in a gatefold release with two posters as well, and the cover is the original 1973 line-drawn cover artwork by George Hardy. So it's kind of a work in progress as they were designing the cover to that original album. We're going to come back to this live at Wembley Empire Pool release in just a moment, because there's a couple of extra things to talk about with that. But back to the box set, there are two CDs in here as well. The first compact disc is the original studio album remastered by James Guthrie, and that comes in a gatefold sleeve with a little mini CD 12-page booklet. The second compact disc is The Dark Side of the Moon, live at the Wembley Empire Pool from London 1974, so it is a compact disc version of that other release. This one also comes in a gatefold sleeve with a 12-page booklet as well. Now, in addition to the vinyl and the compact discs, this box set also has 3 more optical disc versions of the album as well. The first Blu-ray audio disc has 4 different files on it, the first being a 5.1 surround sound mix of the original album uncompressed. The second is a stereo mix, also uncompressed, of that original mix of the album. The third file on this one is a 5.1 surround sound mix on DTS HD audio, and the fourth file is a stereo mix, DTS HD as well. The second Blu-ray audio disc has 3 files on it, and they are the newly remastered album versions of Dark Side of the Moon. The first is the Dolby Atmos mix. The second file is a stereo mix. That one is uncompressed. The third file is also a stereo mix, this one being the DTS HD version of that remix. There's also a DVD audio file, the older style red laser DVD. This one has 3 files on it, including the 5.1 surround sound mix at 448 kilobytes, a 5.1 surround sound mix at 640 kilobytes, and a stereo mix, this one being uncompressed. So you're looking at multiple audio versions of Dark Side of the Moon contained in this box set, the LP, the CD, the DVD, and the Blu-ray audio. So take your pick of the format. You're going to have plenty of listening if you pick one of these up. Now, in addition to all of the audio, you get a few other goodies with this box set as well. The first being a 160-page hardcover book with rare black and white photographs from the 1973 and 74 tours of the UK and USA. And if that isn't enough, there's also a 76-page music book, which is a complete songbook of all of the tunes in the original album. This set also has replicas of 2 7-inch singles, one for Money with Any Color You Like, and the second of Us and Them and Time. So all of this stuff together, the Dark Side of the Moon 50th anniversary box set with vinyl, CDs, DVDs, Blu-ray audio, and all of the extras, the books included as well, lists for about $321. Now, I'm not sure how many of these box sets are being made, so if this is something that's high up on your list to get a hold of, it might be best to pre-order it with either us here at Radio Wasteland or at your local record store. But again, this is coming out on March 24th, Make sure you get those pre-orders in now. Even with that list price of $321, still a lot of cool stuff for fans of Dark Side of the Moon. So before we go, I wanted to add one note about the live album that's included in on this box set. It's Dark Side of the Moon, live at Wembley Empire Pool from 1974, recorded, of course, in London. This is a release that has been bootlegged numerous times over the years. In fact, just very recently, I picked up the latest bootleg version of this, live at the Wembley Stadium, November in 1974. The previous version was just one from about 3 or 4 years ago, but this pops up from the European unofficial release sites once in a great while. Of note, though, is that this is probably one of the best sounding bootlegs that I've ever heard. And I've heard quite a few, especially Pink Floyd bootlegs that come out sounding really tinny. So with this new release of the Dark Side of the Moon live at Wembley, I'm very excited to see what some professional mixing will do to that release. This one is also being made available separate from the box set. You can purchase this individually for a list price of $38. And it is the same release that would be in the bigger box set. It's an LP and a gatefold sleeve with 2 posters featuring that cover design of the artwork, the original artwork for the Dark Side of the Moon concept. So get in pre-orders for either of those, the big box set or the separated out live at Wembley Empire Pool, London, 1974, and we'll do what we can to get a hold of them. Looking forward to these releases. I'm not quite certain how I feel about the big box set with the redundancy, multiple versions of the Dark Side of the Moon. It's a cool album, but do you really need that many? But I think what you're doing is buying the entire collectible set. You're buying the box set, you're buying the album, you're getting the booklet and the music book in there as well. So that would be a cool investment for big Pink Floyd fans. But for the rest of us, you can still pick up remixes and the later remixes of the Dark Side of the Moon, and they sound absolutely great. But the live version is something else that I think I'm going to pick up as well, if not just to have an official version of that release. So until next time, this is Jim from Radio Wasteland Records. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe. And if you're interested in these, visit our website at radiowastelandrecords.com or visit your local record store's website and let them know you're looking for one. Thanks.